So I was thinking about this today, and I just wanted to do this for fun because I am a huge like professional wrestling fan. I love WWE. I love AEW. I love going to local shows and just being a cheerleader because the local shows, those are the stars of the future. Those are guys that at some point I'm going to be like, I remember seeing him in the Track Seven Brewery. Like my man right now in the local scene is Chupacabra because Chupacabra means I'm the goat, sucker. So I love that guy. He was hella nice to me when I met him. Black Swan, she was fucking amazing in the ring, and like how nice she was to me. She gave me one of the feathers out of her boa. It was it was a wonderful night. Um, but I wanted to say just for now, my top five favorite wrestlers. Now, mind you, I like heels more than I like baby faces because heels usually have more of a story and they're more. But my top five like active wrestlers that I like go in this order. Oh, I just changed it to active, not retired, so I have to rethink. So John Moxley is number one for me right now. Fucking the dude is dope, and the the joke that John Moxley can't not bleed. He'll always bleed in any match. I love that. That's the funniest. Number two is Eddie. Oh my god, Eddie Kingston. His character, like his character, is what uh, uh, Kevin Owens wishes he could be. Right? Kevin Owens tries to be the hardcore guy in WWE, and Eddie Kingston's character is like he doesn't understand that professional wrestling is scripted and fake. Like he treats it like it's real and he holds grudges like it's real and he fights the guys that he fights in the ring like it's real. And I love that. And Mox is kind of a heel right now, but everybody still cheers for him. Same with Eddie. He's just a tough guy. Eddie Kingston's just a tough guy, and everybody gets it. And the way he fights like hardcore. Like he doesn't give up, and he sells the character of not knowing that professional wrestling is pre-scripted and fake. So he's my second. My third favorite active wrestler. I know a lot of people will hate this, but I really like The Miz. He's got great fucking comedy chops. He's got great mic skills. He is a all-around performer. He is good in the ring when he needs to be. If it isn't a comedy thing, when like go back to his Intercontinental Championship run and tell me that the Miz was a fucking horrible wrestler. Number four of active wrestlers that we know of, Cody Rhodes. I'm not usually a fan of baby faces, but what Cody Rhodes is doing right now in the WWE and making himself like the ultimate baby face, it's entertaining. It's fun. Um, I love hearing his song because it's the same song from AEW. So it's basically uh, adrenaline in my soul, something something Cody Rhodes, because that's what everybody was singing during the the dark times during 2020 and part of 2021. The really really dark times that none of us want to remember ever happening. Um, but what he's doing in WWE right now, it's fun because there's a storyline that's written for him and written around him. Or like there was already a story, the bloodline storyline. He showed up in the middle of that, and they were like, "Okay, we're going to include you into this." And the way they've been doing his storyline is just brilliant. It's fun to watch. And number five of active wrestlers. I'm sorry, a lot of people are really gonna hate this, but Roman Reigns ties up my the end of my number five. The character he's been playing, the quality of his matches, even though he doesn't wrestle a lot, lets you know that he is still keeping in shape and he's practicing and he's writing these matches. He is fully like the way that the matches go down, and there's nary a fucking botch or anything during most of Roman Reigns' matches, mean that he is fully participating in the writing and the choreography of that match. And he deserves to be in my top five because he's fun to watch. Just him coming out, and then all he has to do, it's just like The Rock. All he has to do is say, "City I'm in, acknowledge me," and just an explosion of cheers. So he'd be my number five. That's active wrestlers. Now, like I said at the beginning, I really enjoy heels. So my non-active top five is probably going to have a lot of people that I became fans of when they were heels. Still was fans of them when they were good guys, but I became a fan of them because they were heels. Number one is The Undertaker. Easy. I was at Royal Rumble 1994 in Sacramento at the Arco Arena. And I remember when The Undertaker came out for the Royal Rumble, I jumped up and I was like, yeah! And like the entire section I was in, everybody kind of looked over their shoulder and looked at me because I was rooting for a bad guy. That's when kayfabe was big and bright still. Um, the Macho Man Randy Savage would be number two, just because when he was a bad guy, he was the best bad guy. But then when he was a good guy, he was beating the best bad guys like Honky Tonk Man. But I remember watching Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Macho Man Randy Savage in a cage match back when like the WWF at the time, the cages were blue thick steel. uh I saw that live in a house show, I think in 1988, maybe 1990. I know it wasn't 89. It was in between there. And that brings me to my third favorite wrestler, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I had his wrestling buddy. I had his like plastic like action figure Like I loved Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He was awesome. Non-active wrestlers that are also my favorite. The Rock would be number 4, and Stone Cold Steve Austin would round out number 5, because during the 90s when I was a young kid and I was switching back and forth with my friends, we'd watch WCW commercial, go to WWF commercial, WCW, and like it was like the best time to be a wrestling fan. The only problem was is that they counter programmed each other, so it sucked. It was like you could only choose one or the other, so you just tried to keep up with the both of them. If they didn't do it, like AEW, I gotta hand it to Tony Khan. He tries his hardest to not counter uh program against the WWE. He's like, I don't want to be your competitor. I just want to be another wrestling show. And I appreciate that so much because it's best for the fans, because we could watch wrestling on Monday and then we could watch wrestling on Tuesday with NXT. Okay, Monday, Raw, Tuesday, NXT, Wednesday, Dynamite, Thursday, NFL football, Friday, you get SmackDown and Rampage, Saturday, you get college football, maybe a pay per view or two, and Collision. Sunday, football all day, maybe a pay per view, but probably won't be happening from AEW during football season. WWE might have the fucking cojones to try and pull that, but I doubt it. So I think for the next until February, we're going to only get Saturday pay per views, which a lot of my friends would appreciate, or and a lot of people that report on wrestling would appreciate, because that means they get Sunday off and they can be well rested for Monday. But that's besides the point. But I just wanted to have this wrestling talk and share this with everybody. So, thank you for listening. And you have my top 5 active and top 5 non active wrestlers. Uh, Honorable mention goes to Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, uh, um, one of my favorite wrestlers, and it still kind of like makes me. I loved Bray Wyatt. Don't get me wrong, but Brody Lee was he was just becoming a superstar. He was just becoming a superstar. Eric Redbeard, if you're out there, man, I hope the best for you. You need to become the next superstar. Carry your brother's legacy on with you. I'm gonna miss those guys. They were creative in ways that you wouldn't believe, and also wonderful family men. It always seems like every week another wrestling superstar that I was a fan of dies. But it hits really close to home when Brody Lee is my age and Bray Wyndham is my youngest brother's age. It's a it kind of hits a little too close to home. I don't wish that on anybody. I wish their safety, love, respect. I may say some things that people disagree about on this channel, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. That doesn't mean I don't care about the people around me. That just means that I have opinions. And last I checked, I'm allowed to have them. I'm allowed to have creative ideas. I'm allowed to think in certain ways. And I think that we all forget that sometimes. And maybe we should be reminded of it every once in a while. Because you're not going to be around forever. Someday you're going to die. And wouldn't you like people to remember you as somebody that was accepting of everybody and happy all the time, than angry because of all of the injustices in the world that you keep making up to keep yourself angry? At some point, you just gotta let go. Let God, let Allah, let Judah, let Buddha, let Ganesh, let whatever. Sometimes you just gotta try and find the things that make you happy instead, because the things that piss you off are always going to piss you off. There's no end to the anger and the hatred and the sadness. There's no end. The only end is for you to change your mindset and find the things that make you happy and concentrate on those instead. Stop watching the news. Stop watching mainstream media. Stop watching TikTok. Stop watching Instagram. Stop watching the shit you watch on YouTube. Just find something to make you happy. Good luck to all of you, and love. Much love.